Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Against the Odds. And this week, we're heading to Standard to try to cut our opponents' heads off. That's right, it is Vorpal Sword time. So let's talk about our spicy Vorpal Sword list. Jump into some games, see it in action. All right, so here is our Vorpal Sword deck, and this deck is actually pretty sweet. So Vorpal Sword, on one hand, it's pretty efficient equipment. 1 to cast, 2 to equip, to give an equipped creature +2/+0 in Death Touch. So a nice little aggro equipment. More importantly, the ability we're really built around is that last ability. Pay 8 mana, and when the equipped creature deals combat damage this turn, the player it hits loses the game. So that's what we're really trying to do. One-shot our opponents with Vorpal Sword. So to pull off the one-shot Vorpal Sword kill, we need 3 things. We need to find Vorpal Sword. We need to get up to 8 mana to activate that ability on Vorpal Sword, and we need a preferably evasive creature. And we got all these things covered. So for finding Vorpal Sword, we're mostly hoping to draw it, but we do have a Varragoth, which can tutor it up if we need to. And then we have a ton of ramp spells to get up to the 8 mana we need to win with Vorpal Sword. Elsian Caryatid, Tingled Floral Hedron, Field Trip, Ashaya Soul of the Wilds even can be a beater, but also kind of a ramp spell. So this helps us get up to 8 mana, and then the last trick of the deck is creatures with trample. So we got Orky Jelly, we got Gnarled Professor, we got Master Symmetrist, we got Battle Mammoth, and the trick here is trample and Death Touch interact really well together because Death Touch makes it so we only need to deal 1 point of damage to a creature to kill it. If we also have trample, essentially our opponent's going to have a million creatures to block with because we can assign 1 damage to each of their creatures and send the rest through with trample to our opponent's face. So let's say you have a Gnarled Professor with a Vorpal Sword on it. That's a 7 power trampling Death Toucher. Our opponent could have 6 creatures of any size. They could all be Emeralds, and it wouldn't matter. We're going to kill all those 6 creatures and get in that last point of damage at our opponent's face and win the game with Vorpal Sword. So trample works insanely well with Vorpal Sword. The other thing that this does is it works insanely well with Vorpal Sword before we have 8 mana. Just like sticking a Vorpal Sword on a big Death Touch creature, we can win some games just by beating down with Jellies and Master Symmetrist in Battle Mammoths. So that's the plan of the deck. Find Vorpal Sword, ramp up to 8 mana, stick it on a Death Toucher, kill our opponent. Otherwise, bunch of removal to help us stay alive long enough to get to 8 mana, get blockers out of the way. Mana base, pretty simple for the most part, a bunch of MDFCs. Sideboard, all essence between tutor them up with Field Trip and also Gnarled Professor. And that is Vorpal Sword for post-rotation Standard 2022. That's our Against Odds deck for this week, so let's jump into some games, see if we can kill some fools with Vorpal Sword. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap up. Looking for some sweet new Dungeons and Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms cards? Well, you can order them now from our sponsor Card Kingdom by heading over to cardkingdom.com. Against the Odds time, we are Vorpal Swording in Standard 2022, and yeah, we'll see what our opponent's up to. Oh, Valving Wilds. Ew. Oh, about it. Gets a Plains. Well, tap land go. Well, opponents, they gotta be like many colors, right? All right, they are many colors. That does make Evolving Wilds make more sense. If you're playing 3+ colors in this format, you're desperate for anything that can sort of fix your mana. The mana in Standard 2022 is pretty bad. Opponent, Trelisara. Well, I think that needs to die. Binding. Kill it. Binding's sweet because it also ramps us. Tapland, Hollow Priest. Well, grab a Woodland Chasm. Play Kazandu Mammoth. Yeah, let's just pass. And Soul Shatter. Trelisara. Well, kill the Hollow Priest. Opponent gains 3 with Revitalize, sure. Vorpal Sword does win through any amount of life. Well, Witherbloom Campus. Let's just Soul Shatter. Play Florahedron. Hit you for 1. Kinda want the Vorpal Sword to be a bit of a surprise, if possible. Opponent, you're gonna Revitalize, Prosperous Innkeeper, gain some life. Land on black. Well, field trip's not bad. Field trip, forest, mascot exhibition. Hey, let's just pass. Attendant healer. All right, gonna start making some dorks. Well, we get to scry. We want a big trampler, really. We might be able to get there with mascot exhibition. We'll see. Ooh, jelly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what? Let's mascot exhibition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, play Vorpal Sword. Pass the turn. Well, I mean, in theory, we could Vorpal Sword on our Inkling and win with 1 attack. Cleric Lifespan, sure. Up to 29. Opponent. Passing. I mean, we're going for it. Vorpal Sword. The Flyer. Are we going to undo our opponent's insane amount of life gain? Go to combat. Swing. No answer. All right. Yeah, activate. Oh, okay. So opponent has Cabrera takedown to stay alive. I think this is still fine, though. Like, opponent's doing their thing and gaining tons of life, but they have to avoid ever getting hit by this Vorpal Sword, which I assume is going to be a problem. Opponent. Yeah, growing their dorks, playing lands. I mean, opponent's going to have to keep chaining together removal. Opponent passing. Well, Lair of the Hydra. Binding the Old Gods. Blow up the 6/6. Gnarled Professor. Get a... And I guess we'll take the removal spell. And then sort up the Prof. No attacks. I mean, so we're presenting lethal again. Attendant healer. Opponent grows the dorks, gains life. Sure. Well, is their last card a removal spell? Passes. Well, we get a forest. Opponent's at a ridiculous life total, but this is where Vorpal Sword really shines. Gnarled Professor attacks. Opponent blocks. Oh, so we win, right? Opponent not thinking of the interaction between Death Touch and Trample. They blocked. They need to block with 1 more creature because they still take 1. Oh, opponent gained 20 life and Vorpal Sword don't care. That's a really good example of where Vorpal Sword can be great, because how are we gonna deal? They're gaining ridiculous amounts of life. How are we gonna deal with that life total? It's gonna take forever if we can even do it. Eventually, you're gonna start drawing Righteous Valkyries, I assume, or whatever. And their creature's already massive, so I don't think we would win without the Vorpal Sword in this game. But Vorpal Sword, I guess our opponent, so they could have blocked with 1 more creature and fizzled it. The problem for our opponent is this is what our deck's built for. So next turn, we play a huge jelly, and then our opponent is eventually not going to have 9 creatures to chump with each turn or whatever, and they're just going to lose. So, well, that was good. That was a good Vorpal Sword game. Against the odds time, we are Vorpal Swording in Standard 2022, and yeah, since I mean we got a sword, we got some removal. That's fine. Could use some ramp to get up to 7 mana, but yeah, let's just foretell Battle Mammoth. You. Forest and gonna check for traps. Sure. Takes Mammoth. That's mostly annoying because we kind of wanted to play that as a land. Pass the turn. Well, come on lands. Come on lands. Swamp. Passing. All right, we draw more Vorpal Swords. Well, we got swords for days. We do not have lands for days. It is rare that you get punished for having MDFC in hand this way, but this game we're being punished by the Thoughtseize effect. Opponent foretells. Passes. Caryat is going to die. We're going to pass. Opponent continues to hit their land drops and passes. Can we draw land, please? All right. Oh, opponent's not passing. That was the whole faking of the passing. Okay, opponent does pass. We do draw land finally. I'll play the land. Yeah, we're still just going to leave up Soul Shatter, I think. Pass the turn. Well, hitting a land finally is a good thing. Voted on taps. I'm sure this is Poison the Cup. There's not really any other options that our opponent could have, so I'm like 99% sure it's Poison the Cup. Well, all right, carry added. Pass the turn. With 2 of them, maybe our opponent can't kill them both, or maybe they don't care and won't kill either. Or maybe they have a Wrath, and then we have all this undone. Binding the Old Gods. Kills a Caryatid. Would like to at least get one more mana before playing Jelly, so then we get a 2/2 if it dies. Opponent passes. All right, well, Mammoth is a land. Jelly as a 4/4. So that's good. That means our opponent can kill it, but then we get it back as a 2/2. We'll see what our opponent's ramping into. All right, Bloodchief's Thirst kills the Jelly. Gotta be Poison the Cup, right? It's gotta be. Hunt for Specimens gets a Dork. Mascot Exhibition. That is pretty good. Another Binding the Old Gods. All right, so opponent has successfully killed our stuff again and again. Can we keep drawing lands? Opponent forced to pass. We get a Jelly. Well, Battle Mammoth. Tangled Floral Hedron. Go attacking. Opponent takes it. Oh, we will see. So opponent, gonna ramp, gonna death touch. We need one more mana to activate the sword. So next turn we can equip the swords. Opponent's gonna make a huge board of Mascot Exhibition stuff at some point because they have successfully hit their land drops. All right, so it was a Poison the Cup the whole time. We get to draw a card. Another Jelly. And now our opponent can follow up with... Now they can follow up with Mascot Exhibition, and we can't really deal with it. Yeah, that might just beat us. Opponent goes attacking. We draw a land. We'll play the land. Play a Jelly. Equip the sword. No attacks. Well, we'll see. Can our opponent find another removal spell? Opponent plays a land. 2 cards in hand. They do find another removal spell. All right. So opponent, yeah. Always with the removal spells. The Jellies are pretty good though, because we do keep getting creatures back at least. And our opponent's down to 1 card. So eventually they are just gonna run out of removal. The opponent goes attacking. No blocks. Down to 15. We get back a Jelly. We draw another sword. Well, equip. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Check for traps. Sure. Are they done? Are they finished with the removal? That is the question. Takes a Soul Shatter. Opponent goes to combat. Goes attacking. We will take it. Down to 10. Yeah, untap. Go to combat. Well, let's see if they have another removal spell. Attack you. Opponent. That doesn't do it. We'll sack the little Jelly. I mean, unless our opponent blocks with their land too, this is game. Because of Death Touch and Trample. That's not enough. That's not enough. Well, good game. Oh no, we don't actually have enough mana. Not good game. I'm an idiot. All right, so we sweep our opponent's board. Soul Shatter. Opponent scries. Oh, I'm gonna get so yelled at. It's 8 mana. Well, I leave it on top. That's not a great sign. So opponent gets a life. We get a Jelly trigger. We play Caryatid. Might as well equip Caryatid because we're not doing anything else. Get some Jellies. What did our opponent find? All right, removal spell. Well, Jelly for 6. Equip the sword. Attack with 1. Opponent goes to 14. Gotta be another cup, right? Gotta be Poison the Cup to the bottom. I mean, we might have just overcome the removal and are kind of winning this fairly. Opponent plays a land. Passes. I'll go to combat. Attack. I mean, yeah, we'll activate. Make him kill the 1/1. Another Poison the Cup. So opponent is staying alive-ish to the bottom. These Jellies have actually been insane. Like that's what's winning us this game is these Jellies being so resilient to removal. And our opponent having to spend multiple removal spells on them. Like we might not get there with sword this game, but this has been a pretty good example of how Orochi Jelly can be good. Opponent down to 8. Floral Hedron tapped. Go. Opponent scrying. And now our opponent's in the inevitable position of losing to the sword and losing to the board. Minus the sword. Just the normal beats. Opponent to the top. Bella get recovery for Mascot Exhibition. I don't think this saves our opponent, though. This should still be game. Land on black. Equip the sword. Oh, we are going to need the sword to win. Put it on the jelly, go to combat, attack with the jelly, death touch, trample, Vorpal Sword. That's one of the most removal-heavy matchups we've played. Opponent has so many removal spells and 2 mascot exhibitions, and the sword? Sword don't care. Maybe Vorpal Sword's kind of good. Maybe it's kind of good. That was sweet. That was super sweet. Against the odds time, we are Vorpal Swording in Standard 2022. And we don't have a sword, and this hand's kind of slow, but oh boy, Magda, that's a little frightening. Well, play Hive of the Eye Tyrant. We do have a sweeper for turn 4, but we're not doing much before that by the looks. Opponent hits us with Magda. Yeah, gets a treasure, and I'm assuming this is a oh my god, Toski. All right, something we can cast this turn, Binding the Old Gods. We'll play a forest. I think we're gonna play the Kazandu Mammoth as a creature, because we really don't want our opponent to draw a million cards here. And then next turn, this Crippling Fear gets rid of the Toski too. All right, so opponent has removal. They're gonna get to draw 2 and make a treasure. So this was not great, although we did get the removal out of our opponent's hand. Hopefully they cast another thing that dies to Crippling Fear. Well, sort of. Well, land on black, Crippling Fear. Namite. Sweep the board. Opponent. Snow-covered mountain. Trognar passes. Well, we will Gnarl Professor. Learn up environmental sciences, go. Now our professor is actually kind of a good card. Opponent gonna double up and fight. All right, sure. It says for 5, down to 10. Well, environmental sciences. Get a land. Play the land. Carry added. Pass the turn. Opponent, more Magdas. Barbarian class. Goes attacking, no blocks. Surprised they didn't crew. Opponent passes. Ooh, Soul Shatter. Oh, Playmaster Symmetrist. Pass the turn. Opponent gonna level up. Going to level up. Crews the chariot, makes a treasure. Well, let's Soul Shatter. Get rid of the chariot. Florahedron, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's Binding the Old Gods. Blow up Barbarian class, Tangled Florahedron. Pass the turn. I'm a little scared of our opponent leveling that up. Oh my god, Vorinclex. A little scared of that too. Opponent gets in for 6. Gets in with Magda for some reason. Well, kill the Magda. Drop to 4. Oh my god. And we'd run 3 jellies, which are pretty bad with Vorinclex out. Actually, really bad with Vorinclex out. Delina Wild Mage. Just bear a Sentinel. All right, we need a good draw, please. Opponent passes. Carry added. Not the draw we were looking for. Oh my god, this is so brutal. So this comes in with half the counters, so it's. Oh yeah, we're done. We're done. All right, pass the turn. Yeah, like we drew the wrong hand for a Vorinclex deck. Opponent plays a land. Azeka's Chariot. Goes to combat. Attacks. Let's see if they get randomly super lucky. No. Well, we will kill Vorinclex. We will kill Delina. Oh, we can't even do that. So if we do this, we go to 2. I guess that's what we got. It's not good. Stuff dies. How can we get back in this? Is it possible? We draw, ooh, Crippling Fear, okay. Well, if there was any card that might get us back in it, it's, I think, Crippling Fear. Ashaya is an elemental forest. Crippling Fear. We will name Elemental. We will play a really sad jelly. Pass the turn. Opponent, Mortalinas. Passes. Well, Battle Mammoth. I think we gotta play another little jelly just so we have blockers. Pass the turn. Oh, are we stabilizing at 2? Blizzard Brawl fights a jelly. We get to draw a card. All right, well, we need our opponent to lose this dice roll. They got like, what, 30%? If they win, if they hit a 15 plus once, they got us. Otherwise, we probably win because we just kill all their stuff on these blocks and then, well, that's unfortunate. Well, fair enough. Spin it to win it. This time, spin it to lose it. It's the odds time. We are Vorpal Swording this week in Standard 2022. Oh my god, goblins. Goblins are, they're fast. Well, we'll see. Faceless Haven, Hobgoblin Captain. Opponent hits us. Well, land and carry added. Go. I mean, if we can start getting down gnarled professors. Ay! All right, frostbite. Sure. Opponent hits us. So many tap lands. Well, land in Kazandu Mammoth. Go. Nah. You don't got enough snow, buddy. Down of the Bugbear is not a snowland. The insta-punt, and now throwing good money after bad by getting... Okay, sure. You killed it. And opponent plays a land and passes. Well, we will play a land and just... You know what? Let's just Gnarled Professor. Gnarled Professor, get a Environmental Sciences. Even if our opponent doesn't land, we can still block this. No, opponent. Opponent's at Mythic 91, and these are some... I've always been a little skeptical that saying I'm at Mythic was necessarily a great representation of your play skill. And those were some of the weirdest. I think actually when it comes down to it, both of the mistakes our opponent made seem to assume that Den of the Bugbear was a snowland. Like, I think that was both of the punts. The punt with the frostbite and then the punt with the Faceless Haven. Both of those plays would have worked if this was a snow-covered mountain instead of Den of the Bugbear. So easy mistake to make, but we certainly benefited from it. Yeah. Well, hey, you never know. Against the odds time. Oh, it's our buddy again. It's Genie. Let's see if Genie has figured out the snowlands this time, or if they're even on the same. Okay, that is a snowland. So off to a good start. We are going to, let's just sword and tap land. Kind of want to be able to have Soul Shatter next turn if we need to. Faceless Haven. Well, let's foretell. Battle Mammoth is a card that I think might be worth keeping an eye out for in future Standard. Do we care about this? Probably. Yeah, let's play a sword. Pass the turn. We're just going to get rid of the Goblin Lord, and then next turn we can Battle Mammoth. Opponent. Fireblade Charger. Well, let's get rid of the Lord. We do need more mana to be able to win with Vorpal Sword. Opponent, another Lord. Master of Symmetries. Well, Mammoth time. Opponent plays a land. Battle Mammoth is a card I think could be good in future Standard. Okay. Sure. Well, opponent killed the Battle Mammoth. Didn't necessarily make it look easy, but they did kill it. Well, play Tangled Veil. Master Symmetrist. Land. Trashy McGee goes attacking. I think we take it this turn because we can kill the Trash Master. Opponent passes. Well, Soul Shatter. Get rid of the Trash Master. And, all right, well, there might have been less punts, but apparently goblins just can't beat this deck. Poor Genie. I'm starting to feel bad now. Wow, can we play Genie? We're gonna queue right back up. What if we get Genie again? Maybe Genie is our ticket to Genie and the Goblins. Ticket to Mythic 1. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out right now. Not Genie. Definitely not Genie. This hand's fine though. No sword, but we got lands. We are on the draw, which is a bit frightening, but hopefully we can just get to these strong 4-drops. We have many of them. Opponent, land, and Warlock class. Tap land. Go. Opponent, swamp, and Foretells. We draw Binding. Kazandu Mammoth. Go. Leveling up the Warlock class. I mean, eventually we can kill it with Binding. I feel like it's risky to run out the Floral Hedron. The odds of it dying are just pretty high. Soul Shatter's not bad. Well, Floral Hedron. Foretell a Mammoth. Go. MDF Tron achieved. Lair of the Hydra, more Warlock classes. I wonder what's foretold. I mean, I guess they could have a Battle Mammoth too. Levels up. Well, play a Swamp, Gnarled Professor. Grab a Containment Breach. Opponent. Jeez, so many Warlock classes. And a Binding. Sure. Well, thankfully our opponent hasn't found a way to damage us. Oh, yeah, they did now. Well. Let's play a Binding. Kill the Warlock class that hasn't leveled up yet. Pathway on black. We want this mostly for the ramp. Like, the ramp is actually pretty helpful. This Lair of the Hydra is a bit concerning. Opponent, Campus. What is it's gotta be Battle Mammoth, right? What else could be foretold? Valiant. Recovery. Gets back. The Dork. Well, we get a land. We will Gnarled Professor. Oh, I guess it could be Poison the Cup. Yeah, okay. Opponent, I'm gonna kill it. Scry to the bottom. We will take a 1, 2, 3. Now take a Pest Summonings. Pass the turn. We want blockers for this Lair of the Hydra. Opponent, land. I mean, they can level up the Warlock classes all the way. We are gonna have to keep killing them. Warlock class, again. Levels it up. Draws a card. Mills some land. So you snarls. Ugh. Lair of the Hydra time. Yeah. Well, we dropped to 14. Play a Campus. Blow up a Warlock class. Pass the turn. Opponent. More Lair of the Hydras. Leveling up. Sure. Which one is fully leveled up? This one. Now, Binding. Get rid of the leveled up Warlock class. Pass the turn. Opponent. Land. Levels up. And passes. Crippling Fear's not doing much. The ramp isn't bad. We'll take a Woodland Chasm. Play a Battle Mammoth. And pass the turn. We are running out of ways to kill Warlock classes at the moment. Could use a sword. We're getting to the point where a sword can just one-shot opponent. Drawing a lot of lands. Field Trip. Oh, Mascot Exhibition. Oh, okay. Huh. That seems worse than Mascot Exhibition, but we will accept. 3 mana Preordain. Wow, they had the mana to just cast Mascot Exhibition too. I am very shocked and super happy that we are not facing on a board full of tokens. Opponent 2 to the top. Interesting. Soul Shatter to get rid of the Mammoth. Sure. Opponent passes. We get drained for 2. We draw Forest. Well, play a land. Pass Summonings. Go attack it. Pass the turn. Oh, come on, Sword. Come on, Sword. Something big to go with it would be good. Awkwardly. All right. Bookworm. Warlock class again. Oh my god. So opponents drawn every Warlock class. Every single one in the top of their deck. We have not drawn any swords. No swords, period. Let's see if we can do this properly. So what we want to do is kill the Bookworm after the Warlock classes would trigger, because we don't want to get drained. Yeah, our opponent hitting every Warlock class is pretty bad for us. Opponent hits a removal spell, presumably. I mean, I guess we could scry. Maybe scrying's better. We can just scry. Yeah, let's scry. Scry 1. And we'll deal with this during our turn. Well, Binding of the Old Gods is actually kind of good. Untap. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Binding of the Old Gods. Get rid of the fully leveled up Warlock class. Carry added. Pass the turn. Sword, 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 sword. If we draw a sword, we should be able to just one-shot. We just gotta find the sword. I mean, I guess, like, if we can stabilize, we can start scrying fairly aggressively to find the sword. We are on a clock because we've dealt with so many Warlock classes. Our opponent, they've drawn all 4, and they got one back from the graveyard. So we're just on this weird, like, Warlock class clock. Oh my god, they got another one. All right. Well, apparently this is just a goal of our opponent's deck, is hopefully draw Warlock classes and hopefully keep looping them from their graveyard. I mean, it seems like it might actually work, especially if we cannot draw a sword. All right, gonna kill the Caryatid. Opponent goes to combat. Well, we will Soul Shatter. Yeah, we are getting drained for a lot by these Warlock classes. Opponent. That down to 10. Get a forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, play Kazandu Mammoth. Go to combat. Actually, they can just block. No attacks, pass the turn. Oh, ha! Okay. So opponent's playing hard. All right. Well, I guess they got us. Yeah, there's no way we beat this. So opponent just drew infinite cards. Well, the Warlock classes make a bit more sense. Kind of a cool deck idea. Not sure how it would hold up to something a smidge more aggressive. It looks slow. But drawing every Warlock class is impressive. Yeah, now, I mean, we'll see. If our opponent taps all the way down, yeah, they're not going to tap down. So now I think there's just no way that we can possibly win, unfortunately. Because even if we draw a sword, our opponent has Poison the Cup to kill. Okay, well, actually, I take that back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we have to just draw a sword this turn. If we draw a sword, we win. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. There's hope, because this is going to give Death Touch. Oh no, wait. Oh, wait, let's think about this. So we can't scry. Opponent could block. Okay, we got a Soul Shatter. So we just have to naturally top deck sword. Come on, Magic Gods. Come on, Magic Gods. Oh. We've done a lot of digging. We've put some stuff to the bottom, sorta. Drained, 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 drained. Sword off the top. Sword off the top to win through Harness the Infant. Come on. That's all it'd be such a sweet win. There's a shot. We got 4 in there. We haven't seen one yet. 4 out of 38. Opponent going through the downside of Harness the Infinite, which you got discard to hand size. We draw Forest. Well, okay. It just wasn't meant to be. Yeah, all right. Well, in this case, we just couldn't find the sword. Oh, even after all that, if we had top decked the sword, we would have won. That was game. Huh. Well, sometimes you find the sword, sometimes you don't. And at least our opponent was doing something interesting. This is one of those decks that I like the idea of it. No idea if it's actually something that can be competitive against the meta at large, and Harness Infinite seems a little sketchier in best of 3 where Graveyard Hate could be a thing, but definitely drew a lot of cards, drew a lot of Warlock classes. Interesting. Against the odds time, we are Vorpal Swording in Standard 2022, and we don't have a sword, otherwise this hand seems pretty reasonable. We got ramp to get to the sword. I mean, I guess Vargoth can potentially find us a sword. Hopefully. Boost it up. All right, just bear a Sentinel. Well, land and Caryatid. Go. Opponent. Faceless Haven. Floral Hedron. Getting in for 1, no blocks. Ooh, that could be good eventually. Let's Field Trip. Get a forest. Get a what? 1, 2, 3. What are we taking? We're gonna get to tutor twice because we have this gnarled professor. Let's just take pest summonings for now. Play the campus, pass the turn. Opponent, snow-covered forest. And opponent has gnarled professor. All right, sure. Gets a wow. Okay, expanded anatomy. Well, we will gnarled professor. Get a mascot exhibition. Floral Hedron. Kazandu Mammoth. Go. Land for our opponent. And all right. More professors. So we can mascot exhibition. All right. Introduction to Annihilation. Swarm Shambler. We will trade with a Professor if our opponent attacks. Opponent oh my god, there's a sword. There is the sword. Well, I think we... Oh, but if we plant now, it's gonna die, isn't it? Huh? Well, I guess if our opponent spends their entire turn killing a Vorpal Sword, we're probably good with that. Let's go to combat. Get in with the no attacks. Play Mascot Exhibition. Vorpal Sword. Go. Opponent might have to kill the sword. Like, they actually are in a place where they could die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we're mana short of winning this turn with sword, but we're pretty close to just winning with the sword. All right, gonna grow a Professor. Sure. Blizzard Brawl a Professor. All right, so that was a good turn for the opponent. And goes to combat. So we can't kill this Professor. Grows a Swarm Shambler. Gets in. We'll trade with this Professor. Drop to 9. Opponent passes. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can make Jelly a 6/6, but then our opponent can kill it. I think we Varagath. Pass summonings. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a land. All right, introduction to Annihilation, sure. Kills the thing. We get another sword. Hopefully our opponent's last card is not another fight spell. That would be bad. Opponent goes attacking. Well, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kill some stuff. Drop to 6. Gain a life, back up to 7. And a Floral Eater. All right, yeah. That is fine. Soul Shatter. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jelly. X5. And are we in danger of dying? Opponent fires this up. We have to block. Not really. They top deck a fight spell. They fight this, fire this up. 4. Then we'd be dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, they're not going to top deck a fight spell. All right, equip to Jelly. Go. Well, unless our opponent can kill us this turn, we should have the sword win next turn. Opponent grows the Shambler. So opponent needs, like, fire this up, Blizzard Brawl, fight Jelly, then 3, 4, 5. Well, I guess we're not straight up dead either, are we? I mean, this should do it, I think. Go to combat, attack you. Jelly win? I mean, the combo of Death Touch and Trample is insane with sword. Opponent. Well, all right, yeah. The Jelly win. Take it down mono green. It's actually, like, kinda good and kinda working. Oh, the sword is actually, that's another game. We've had several games where if we didn't have sword, I don't think we win. Like in this game, our opponent's got a big board. I guess we do have a Wrath, but our opponent's got a big board. They got the Faceless Haven. I don't think our Jelly is going to get there as a 5/5. Like our opponent can block it and trade with it and deal with it, but the sword would trample. Like that steals wins. That steals wins out of nowhere. All right, that was real good. Sweet. So what did we learn this week about Vorpal Sword in Standard 2022? And the deck was actually kind of impressive. Overall, I played a bunch of games with this deck in testing and also for recording, finished up with a record of 12-9, I believe, overall, which pretty good, like over 50%, which definitely will accept that. The thing I like most is we actually got to see Vorpal Sword be essential to the deck winning. We had multiple games where we wouldn't have won if it wasn't for Vorpal Sword. I was a little worried that like we'd get a lot of wins without Vorpal Sword and just beating our opponent down. And sometimes we do win with a Gnarled Professor or whatever. But there are a bunch of games where our opponent had huge boards. The life gain game was a great example. Our opponent was like 40 life. They had all these huge creatures, and being able to put a Vorpal Sword on a Trampler got through a huge board of blockers, killed our opponent from like 40 life with 1 attack. We also had a couple of just jank 'em out games where our opponent was clearly going to be able to stabilize if it wasn't for Vorpal Sword. So I really love the Death Touch Vorpal Sword plan. I think that is maybe the best and most competitive way to build around it. Other card that was sometimes impressive that I wanted to mention was the Jelly, Orch Jelly. Some games it was a little awkward. We did get wrecked by a Vorinclex in one game. On the other hand, there were some games where that was essential to us winning, where we're just like playing a Jelly, it's getting killed, it's coming back smaller, but it's still there, it's getting killed again, and eventually, through all of our opponent's removal, we get the win with our Vorpal Sword Jelly combo. So I like this deck, and I actually think something like this could be kind of competitive. We have some weird cards in the deck, but the combination of decent removal, decent creatures, and Vorpal Sword to jank people out worked really well, and I feel like we nailed all the 3 things we talked about in the intro. We found Vorpal Sword consistently. Number 1. Number 2, we didn't have that much trouble getting up to 8 mana. Between our mana dorks, between being able to grab like environmental sciences from our sideboard and field trip, and even Ishaya, and then the plan of getting Vorpal Sword on a Trampler, that worked incredibly well, just being able to get through a whole bunch of blockers and win the game. So I feel like the deck kind of nailed it. It's super fun. It's surprisingly competitive, and also worth mentioning, the deck's really cheap in paper. 86 bucks in paper, 14 ticks on Magic Online. On Arena, not as cheap because the economy, absolutely miserable. And cards like Vorpal Sword, Soul Shatter, Gnarl Professor, Jelly, those are cards that in paper, like, close to free, a few cents, like bulk rare prices. On Arena, you still got to spend the wild card, which is a bit of a bummer, but technically this would qualify as a budget deck, discounting Arena. So anyway, that's Vorpal Sword. That's our Against the Odds for this week. Deck was sweet. Hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.